and welcome to News Update on Value Chain TV. My name is Memana Bagudu. And on the News Update, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Central Bank of Nigeria to initiate series of financial sanctions against individuals and entities associated with the leaders of the coup in Niger Republic. Hawa Aliu Palasa reports.
Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Nglali, who made this known, maintained that the sanctions are being instituted under the authority of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. This move is in addition to electricity transmission already cut by the Nigeria to Niger, its northern neighbors, to pressurize the military to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum. This is an action taken by ECOWAS chairman, who is the president of Nigeria, but standing on the authority provided by the consensus resolution of all ECOWAS members and heads of state with regard to financial sanction being levied by member states against the military junta in Niger Republic. The media advisor explained that the actions against Niger being coordinated by President Tinubu are not personal, as they are under the auspice of the ECOWAS, where he is the chairman. He said it is because of this that Mr. President has deemed it necessary to state unequivocally that the mandate and ultimatum issued by ECOWAS is that of ECOWAS's position. He explained that following the expiration of the ultimatum given by the ECOWAS president, Tinubu has widened consultation, including interfering with governors of states bordering Niger Republic on the various fallouts and outcomes of the unfortunate situation that has unfolded in that country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized that the response of ECOWAS to the military coup in Niger has been and will remain devoid of ethnic and religious sentiments and consideration. According to him, Thursday's extraordinary summit of ECOWAS in Abuja will come up with far-reaching decisions on the recent developments in Niger Republic. Hawali Balsa, Value Chain TV.
The federal government has pledged its readiness to break the vicious circle of over-reliance on borrowing for public spending and the resulting burden of debt servicing it places on the management of Nigerians' limited revenues. President Bola Tinubu stated this while inaugurating the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform. Omar Isa Bonunu reports.
President Tinubu mandated the committee to improve the country's revenue profile and business environment as the federal government moves to achieve 18% tax to gross domestic product ratio target within 3 years. He directed the committee, headed by a renowned tax expert, Mr. Tayo Oyedele, to do all within its powers to achieve its one-year mandate, which is divided into 3 main areas: fiscal governance, tax reforms, and growth facilitation. He also directed all government ministries and departments to cooperate fully with the committee towards achieving its mandate. The president told the committee members the significance of their assignment, saying his administration carries the burden of expectations from the citizens who want their government to make their lives better. Acknowledging Nigeria's current poor standing in the tax sector, Tinubu said the country still faces challenges in areas such as ease of tax payment and tax to GDP ratio, which is far behind Africa's continental average. He stated that the aim is to transform the tax system to support sustainable development while achieving a minimum of 18% tax to GDP ratio within the next 3 years. Without revenue, he said, government cannot provide adequate social services to the people it is entrusted to serve. Also speaking, the chairman of the committee, Tayo Oyedele, noted that Nigeria's revenue generation is below the African standard, even though the country's collection costs are among the highest. He pledged that members of the committee are committed to giving their best in the interest of the country. He said many of the country's existing laws are outdated, hence they require comprehensive updates to achieve full harmonization to address the multiplicity of taxes and to remove the burden on the poor and vulnerable, while addressing the concerns of all investors, big and small. He noted that tax administration has improved but remains relatively basic, with instances of unregulated collections by untrained officers, particularly at the local government level, being widespread.
The federal government has said that flood killed 600 people and the country recorded direct economic damage of $7 billion in 2022. Vice President Kashim Shettima described the situation as the worst effect of climate change in Nigeria. Hawa Aliyu Palesa reports.
Vice President Kashim Shettima disclosed this as an event of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in Abuja, represented by his Deputy Chief of Staff, Ibrahim Hassan. The Vice President reminded Nigerians the ravaging floods of last year, which held the country to a standstill for days. The World Bank's Global Rapid Post-Disaster Damage Estimation Assessment put the total direct economic damage to infrastructure to be about $7 billion. This is equivalent to 1.6% of Nigerians' estimated 2021 gross domestic product, not including the loss of over 600 lives. Shettima said for Nigeria, this is climate change and is at its worst. He said, climate change is the biggest challenge facing humanity today, pointing out that as a developing nation in the global south, Nigeria is gravely impacted by the negative effect of climate change. He lamented that Nigeria is ranked as one of the 10 most vulnerable countries to the impact of climate change in the world, despite its negligible contribution to overall global carbon emissions. Vice President Shettima explained that whole of Africa accounts for less than 4% of total global carbon emission. The Vice President said a lot of people from the northeastern part of Nigeria, including himself, bore the scars of climate change effects and had to live with its impact. He outlined some of the impact to include drought and desertification, disruption of rainfall patterns, leading to sandfall, severe flood, destruction of farmlands, infrastructure, and human settlements. Hawali Walasa, Value Chain TV.
Cross-section of Nigerians have reminded government of the need to quickly address the high cost of living being experienced following subsidy removal and increase in pump price of petroleum products. They expressed their views to our correspondent who went to Ta'al Orange Market, Mararaba, in the outskirts of Abuja, from where he reported that business is low. Francis Millat reports.
This is Ta'al Orange Market, located at Mararaba Gurku in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State. It is one of the major markets in the outskirts of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. FCT residents patronize the market more than any other one near Abuja because of its proximity, variety of foodstuffs, which may see as cheaper compared to others in the satellite towns. Before now, the hustle and bustle in this market was huge, so that one hardly gets space to freely walk in the market. The story is however changing because of rise in price of goods and services, which some attributed to the increase in the price of petroleum products following the removal of fuel subsidy.
It's very, very difficult for us because everything add money. Because of the situation in this country, fuel add money, so everything just go up. We are managing. We are just doing returning of money, exchange of money, no gain. All the business that we are doing, everything is down. We are managing our life. The motor, the transport that we are paying now is more than the income. At times we'll buy and we'll sell it, we'll short, but we don't know what to do.
The goods are available, but high cost of buying them, according to some people, is gradually but steadily becoming prohibitive.
It's not different from previous days. We are all in Nigeria. We can tell that the prices are increasing almost on daily basis. So we don't have no choice. We have to go just swim with the tide. We are not yet settled with the 540, and before you know it, it's now 620. So what do you expect? The foodstuff, they are being brought in with transportation. So definitely, if there's hike in fuel, there will be increase in prices. So That's what we're dealing with.
People that were coming from other places stopped coming because of the transportation. And when they come to buy, things are also costly for them. So they decided to stay back.
The situation, which affected both buyers and sellers, did not spare others who make a living. The market wheelbarrow pushers, water vendors, and recycle operators are lamenting that business is low.
Da da muna daukan baro 400-500 amma yanzu an ce komai ya ƙara kuɗi. Yanzu ma daukan hayan baro ne duk sati naira 1,000-1,500. Ga nan dai ina wannan sana'ar ne, ina da rufawa kaina asiri kuma ina taimaka gidanmu.
They appeal to the government to quickly roll out palliatives to mitigate the effects of subsidy removal and the increase in the price of petroleum products for life to be more meaningful.
The Secretary General of the African Petroleum Producers Organization, APO, Omar Farouk Ibrahim, has advocated a second paradigm shift in the discourse on energy transition to achieve a quick and enduring success for Africa and its institutions in addressing challenges the global trend poses to the continent. The APO scribe opined that the first paradigm shift, being world acceptance of the need for a transition from fossil to renewable energies, has thrown up challenges for the African continent, especially countries that rely on fossil fuels for revenue. Speaking on Value Chain TV program, the oil expert noted the inherent contradictions around energy transition, asserting that the imminent financing challenge for the oil and gas industry in Africa is not due to lack of funds in the global financial system for projects in the sector in Africa. He therefore advised that Africa should jettison the fixated idea the continent received from years of biased socialization, especially the belief that salvation can only come from Western countries.
Animals, birds, etc. And a group among those living in that patrimony decide to exploit it, and in so doing destroy it, and in so doing make their own life better, and then you come back and tell us it is dangerous. Okay, let's remedy it. We ask that you pay reparation for the destruction of what we call the common patrimony of all of us. Because by destroying that atmosphere, you have denied me my own right to a clean environment. But nobody's talking about that today. They're saying everybody should stop because it is dangerous to mankind. Yes, it's dangerous. But who caused it?
And next on the news update is sports. The Nigerian Football Federation has dismissed as baseless a statement issued by the world body of professional footballers calling on the federation to pay players of the Super Falcons what they are owed. The federation reiterated that it had an earlier agreement with the players on what they would earn at the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. But World Football Governing Body, FIFA, came up with a new template that guaranteed more money for the players, which made players of all participating teams happier. The NFF insists it does need the association shouting from far off to pay Nigerian players what they had been promised by both FIFA and the NFF, dismissing the body's statement as a mere relevance-seeking message. The federation praised the team for its efforts in reaching the round of 16 and standing up firmly to world number 4 England on the turf, as well as its heroic in the group phase. It noted that not losing a single match out of 4 in regulation time is a remarkable record by an African team. The nation's football governing body stated that it has no issues with the players. It had assured them before the World Cup that they would be paid the couple of friendly matches and qualifying matches for which they were being owed appearance fees and bonuses respectively. It pledged to pay the money once the World Cup money is paid. And that is all for the news updates on Value Chain TV. My name is Maimuna Bagudu. Thanks for watching.